Hello friends, let us now learn some important points about amyloidosis. Okay, this amyloidosis is extracellular modified protein. There are 95% in the amyloid. We have 95% of amyloid contains fibrils, whereas 5% of amyloid is made up of amyloid, serum amyloid associated protein, which has P component. Okay, so in amyloidosis, this is an extracellular modified protein which contains 95% of fibrils and 5% of serum amyloid associated protein, which contains P component. So first we will see the diseases. Amyloidosis is divided into two types. We have primary amyloidosis and secondary amyloidosis. In primary amyloidosis, this is mainly the amyloid light chains associated here. In amyloid light chains, this is associated with multiple myeloma. In multiple myeloma, there is increased in light chains of antibody are seen more than heavy chains. Okay, so the amyloid light chains AL are accumulated in the kidney in amyloidosis, thus causing myeloma kidney is seen. Okay, this is about amyloidosis in the primary type, that is in the kidney. Now we have secondary amyloidosis. In secondary amyloidosis, first this secondary amyloidosis is seen in cancers like renal cell carcinoma, Hodgkin's lymphoma. It is also seen in chronic inflammatory conditions. All chronic inflammatory conditions you can see this, except in chronic bronchitis. It is not seen in chronic bronchitis, except that in all the chronic inflammatory conditions we can see this secondary amyloidosis. All these are associated with interleukin 1 and interleukin 6, which will activate the liver. Now this liver will produce serum amyloid associated protein, leading to AA amyloid. This will lead to the deposition of AA amyloid. So because of serum amyloid associated protein, this leads to the deposition of AA amyloid. So this is secondary amyloidosis, two types. Then the third type of secondary amyloidosis is, we have amyloidosis is also seen in medullary carcinoma of thyroid. In medullary carcinoma of thyroid, you will see the presence of increased calcitonin, that is ACAL, is accumulated. That is cal for calcitonin, A is amyloid. Amyloid calcitonin is accumulated. Then we have the next disease which is in secondary amyloidosis, Alzheimer's disease. In Alzheimer's disease, there is accumulation of A beta plaque is seen. This A beta plaque is actually a neuritic plaque which gets deposited. So A beta plaque something looks like this. In the middle you have the A beta plaque is present in the middle, and surrounding that there are many fibrils are seen. Okay, so this is the picture of neuritic plaque in Alzheimer's disease. Then there is also hemodialysis. Hemodialysis is associated with A beta microglobulin. Beta 2 microglobulin. It is associated with beta 2 microglobulin is increased. This hemodialysis will show A beta 2 M amyloid. It shows A beta 2 M, that is amyloid beta 2 microglobulin is seen. And this hemodialysis will also result in this beta 2 microglobulin can accumulate in the carpal tunnel, thus it can result in median nerve numbness in the areas of supplying median nerve is seen. Then we have the next secondary amyloid, which is transthyretin. This transthyretin it will transport thyroid hormone and the retinoic acid. It transports thyroid hormone and retinoic acid. So this, if the normal if normal transthyretin is increased, this will lead to a disease called as systemic senile amyloidosis. If normal transthyretin is increased, it will lead to systemic senile amyloidosis. So this is, you can see, is ATTR, amyloid transthyretin is produced, where the quantity of amyloid transthyretin is only increased. If there is abnormal or mutant transthyretin is present, so this will result in familial amyloidotic polyneuropathy. This familial amyloidotic polyneuropathy, you will see there is increased quantity of mutant amyloid transthyretin is increased in this familial amyloidotic polyneuropathy. Okay, this is about transthyretin. Then we have the next disease, which is familial Mediterranean fever. In familial Mediterranean fever, this is associated with pyrin, and here you will see the AA amyloid is seen. And we have in diabetes mellitus, you will see AIAPP is seen. This is amyloid, which is insulin associated polypeptide is seen. So this is in diabetes mellitus. So these are the different types of amyloid. Now if you see, these amyloid, most commonly it gets deposited in the kidney. But if you were asked what is the most common deposition of amyloid in old age, it gets deposited in the liver. Now it gets deposited in the kidney, it deposits in the mesangium. First it gets deposited in the mesangium, and it can result in nephrotic syndrome. Then in the liver, it first and foremost deposits in the space of Deci. Okay, then in the heart, if it deposits in the heart, it will cause restrictive cardiomyopathy. When it deposits in the spleen, it results in two things. One, it can cause either sago spleen, which if it deposits in the white pulp of spleen, it results in sago spleen. If it deposits in the red pulp of spleen, it causes Lardaceous spleen. It causes Lardaceous spleen if it deposits in the red pulp of spleen. If it deposits in the white pulp of spleen, it causes sago spleen. Okay, next, if you see, if it deposits in the joints, this causes A beta 2M, which is in dialysis, it deposits in the joints. Then if it deposits in the skin, it causes purpura can occur if it deposits in the skin. In GIT, it causes organomegaly. Okay, in tongue, it causes macroglossia are seen. Except in kidney, as I have said, there will be deposition in mesangium, and kidney there is decrease in size is seen due to ischemia. In kidney, it results in ischemia resulting in decreased size. So if we see the diagnosis of this amyloidosis, the diagnosis is done by Grossly. We use Grossly we can use iodine can be used for diagnosis with the help of mahogany brown. First, when you use iodine, you will see the amyloid to be seen in brown color, mahogany brown, and then if you use H2SO4 on this tissue, you will see blue color. Okay, so this is gross appearance. Then if you see microscopically, you will see, you can use Congo red stain. In the Congo red stain on light microscopy, you will see appearance of salmon pink appearance, and Congo red stain in polarizing microscopy, you will see apple green birefringence is seen. Okay, Then we also have some metachromatic stains are also present. In the metachromatic stains, that is methylene violet, metachromatin stains, that is with the help of methylene violet, and in crystal violet you will see presence of pink colored amyloid is seen. And we also have specialized stain is also available, that is we have scintigraphy. If you do a scintigraphy, you will know the extent of the amyloid, and you can also do an electron microscopy where you can see straight non-branching fibers are seen. Non-branching straight fibers are seen, which are in the diameter of 7.5 to 10 millimeters in diameter. So these are the important points about amyloidosis. And one more test, if you do an X-ray crystallography, in X-ray crystallography you will see presence of beta pleated sheets are seen. This is the main reason for birefringence. Because of these beta pleated sheets, we will see birefringence. So this is about amyloidosis. Thank you for watching.